Hello, everybody. It's Daniel here, and today I will be conducting a presentation on the losses in translation and how language impacts communication, a study done by me, Daniel Harris. So without further ado, we shall move on to the next slide. Language is any formal system of gestures, signs, sounds, and symbols used of or conceived as a means of communicating thought. Ask any professional speaker or speechwriter, and they will tell you that language matters in any context. In fact, some of the most important and memorable lines in American history came from speeches given by American presidents. To name a few would be, as said by McClure in 1904, "It is true that you may fool all the people some of the time. You can even fool some of the people all the time, but you can't fool all of the people all the time." And also by former President Barack Obama in 2009, as quoted saying, "We lose ourselves when we compromise the very ideals that we fight to defend, and we honor those ideals by upholding them, not when it's easy, but when it is hard." And so, uh, by using language, we are able to basically send out what we intend to give in our speeches, as as uh, as given by the previous examples. Moving onwards, the use of language and communication is vital, for it is the primary means through which humans interact with one another. But the question in theory about my research isn't in regards to the benefits of it. It's actually in regards to the losses in translation, to which we will go to my research questions to the right. And so for the research questions that I have assembled are the contributing factors that lead to losses in translation and the impact of such losses in translation on language communications. Said questions are answered by the given video link, to which we shall now watch. It's not more than 5 minutes. It's around like 4. It it serves as a perfect answer as to my study. The It's a very brief and very clear answer to the whole theory of how language affects communication overall. And so by watching it after the video, I will further explain in a minute. And so actually in the meantime, I can actually get to the points as to the first one, the contributing factors that lead to losses. So basically the video is about this politician wanting to give his speech to his supporters, but he has trouble in delivering his message. And so he has to rely on a translator. And the translator is actually giving a very poor job. And from there, we can deduce as to the issues pertaining to the question of how language matters in such instances.
I don't know why it's taking so long to load.
It's okay. I can get to the factors as we wait. So
wait, do you want me to play the video?
Yeah. I think it's better if we just watch through it first, maybe for around like a minute or so, and then we can stop.
Okay, Daniel, I think we can put the link under the video later on YouTube. You can just.
Okay, all right. I'll just send it in through WhatsApp or so.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, I'll just explain the factors then. Factors as to which contribute to the losses in communication, in translation as well. Target demographic. I've listed 3 to be brief. So the first one would be target demographic. Second is use of language, and the third would be incompetency on behalf of the translator. So the first one I will be clarifying by saying, before giving out any of your talks or speech, you got to know your audience, your target demographic. Let's say you walk into a conference room. So the entire table, the board of the assembly is made up of highly intellectual people. So you can't just go in there and propose your idea through the means of which you talk to your friend. Let's say, like, you can't just you can't you can't use normal day-to-day language when you are in such circumstances. So for the one that I'm referring to, like right now, the video, that is, it's the politician wanting to give out his speech to his rally of supporters, a whole crowd of supporters then and there. I don't think his use of language was inappropriate. It's just that maybe not everybody would be able to comprehend. And it's also from the fact that the translator in that video is very incompetent. He didn't know what he was talking about. And then he had to ask again and again from the speaker, like, could you repeat that? Could you repeat that? Could you repeat that? And then it went from an assembly of wanting to hear from your supporting politician to a fiasco of clownery, if that's even a word. Basically, the whole meaning behind the assembly, the rally speech, it's no longer there because you're so focused on the translator's faults, because the translator himself is incompetent. And then the use of language. If we further on continue by watching the video, nearing towards the end, the perhaps the politician guy, he went to another assembly and he was given another inept translator. This translator, I believe, has a very limited amount of vocabulary.